Hey, 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 yeah, hey, what a time to be alive. I left them for dead, now I'm living right. No new friends, no new advice. That was high then, but we got bigger heights. We got bigger fish to fry. Bet on myself, then I roll the dice. Man, it ain't a gamble if you know you nice.
All right, welcome back to Doll and a Dream podcast. I'm your host, Ara Amen. This is the #1 podcast in Dallas, and my special guest today is Revelations.
What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up, Ara? Thanks for having me here, bro.
Absolutely. And you are the CEO and founder of ERM, which is...
ERM, it stands for Empowered Revelation Movement. There's a long story to that, and maybe we can get into that now or later.
Let's start off with the story.
All right. So I'll just say this. It's a little bit of my background, so like I don't want to jump into it.
Yeah.
Right away, but Revelation. I was born and raised in Hawaii. Hawaiian Portuguese. That's my background. So there's 5 of us brothers. Long story short, I got to live in where everybody wants to go to visit. Have you ever been to Hawaii yet?
No, my best friend is getting married next year in Hawaii, and I'm going for the first time.
You are going?
I'm so stoked.
Wait, you book your flight?
No, nothing's booked, but I'm going. It's my best friend. I'm in the wedding.
Okay. Oh, okay. Cool,
I have to go.
Cool. Okay, cool. What do you know? What island is gonna be at?
I think it's the Big Island.
Big Island sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're in the Air Force, so they're stationed somewhere there.
Okay.
So I want to go for like a month. I want to be there.
Dang, 1 month?
Maybe not a month. Maybe like maybe a few weeks. Maybe like 2 weeks.
I'll say this is like since we live in Dallas now.
Yeah.
Like 1 week is good enough for me. Even there's a reason why I say that, because like there's not that much unless you're traveling to every island like you probably want to do.
Yeah.
Then you can plan a couple weeks out like for you to stay there a couple weeks. But most of my family. So I grew up in Oahu. That's where Waikiki is, Honolulu, all that stuff, and there's a lot of things to do there. But when I go back to Hawaii, it's basically to see my son, Revelation Jr. He's out there. Most of my family are out there too. But when I land, I go to one spot to go eat, or maybe a couple spots that I have to go. If you haven't tried the food out in Hawaii, bro, when you go, I will tell you the spots to go to.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna talk before I go.
It's dope.
I'm gonna get a checklist.
And then so maybe about a week over there, then I'm good, dude. I just gotta jump in the water. I gotta eat the food. I gotta see my family. But going back to I grew up in a family where most of my family played music, so we're a bunch of musicians. I went to a school called Kamehameha Schools, which is basically all Hawaii. It's a Hawaiian school. One of the Princess Pauahi, she left this school for Hawaiians, predominantly Hawaiian. So you have to have Hawaiian to go there. It's a lot of money to go there. It's like 20, 30 grand to go there per year. But because Kamehameha owns a lot of land, we don't have to pay that much. So I went to private school. It doesn't mean anything, but I went to one of the best private schools in the nation, one of the richest schools, and I ended up being a drummer. and what we do now too, right? We're in finances. But I ended up playing music. I did some stuff before I got into music, but I figured that, shucks, I love what I do. I love playing music. It was kind of like I grew up in it. My dad did it. My brother did it. Like those were the people I looked up to. And from, I don't know, I graduated 04. I'm giving away my age right now. Like 06 all the way up until now, I've done music, traveled the world. And then I got into this industry, which is the financial insurance industry, because someone recruited me. So going to the name, going to the name. I don't know if I just clicked your mic over there, but going to the name, it's ERM. At the moment, it's ERM, right? We're still trying to figure out what we want to call it. It means Empowered Revelation Movement. The first name that we had was the Change Makers, and my wife came up with that name, and I was like, what does that mean? What does the change makers mean? And she would say, to make a change. And I'm like, what else does it mean? What's the mission? What does the change makers mean? All I got was image to make a change. I'm like, screw that. I don't want that name. Like so much of my friends is like, Rev, why don't you call it Revelation? Like your name's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Because my name is Revelation. I'm like, well, I'm down for that. And once I brought it up to my wife, she was like, nah, I don't want it. the name of the company to be named after you.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, if my name was John, what if I named the company Revelation? Revelation's a dope name.
I love that
You
name,
know?
by the way, man.
So, I mean, we never went to Revelation. After years going by, long story short, we came up with Empowered Revelation Movement. And at the end of the day, my name means to, or Revelation means to reveal what's already there. So when you take Empowered Revelation Movement, it's about getting people to realize stuff that they kind of like revealing what's inside of themselves. Like, you know how we reinvent ourselves. We talk about reinventing. We talk about being a better version of ourselves. And when I talk about it, I'm thinking about the statue of David. If you're familiar with the statue of David, Michelangelo.
We're still like just thinking?
Huh?
Is it that one?
Yeah,
Where he's, like,
he's the one
sitting
where
there
his junk is hanging out there.
Yeah.
Right, but
It was a really cold day when they.
yeah. But the point of the statue of David was that Michelangelo said, he said something to the effect of, David was already there. He just had to chip away everything that was around him.
Oh, I got you. Pull the sucker up as close as you can.
So David was already there. He just had to chip away what's around him to reveal David.
Got you.
So Revelation is kind of like that, like to reveal what's already inside of you, what's already there.
I love that.
So it's kind of cool, you know. It's just the Revelation is going to be a part of the team name, the company name, but trying to figure out what else that goes with it. If ERM is it, then that's what it is. So that was a 10-minute conversation on my company name.
No, but I love it, man. I love the name Revelation because I remember the first time we spoke and like we met, it was like Rev. I was like, oh, cool, Rev. And then like I heard Revelation. I was like, bro, why didn't you start with that?
I get that all the time, bro. You know what? It's I don't know how to explain it. I do know how to explain it, but it's kind of like I should say my name a lot more. I've always been used to saying Rev when I was in school, right? Hey, what's up? My name is Rev. Hey, what's up? My name is Rev. And this is when I was in high school. That habit stuck with me the whole time. And it's kind of like, you know, I had the unique name in school. So it's like, let's just stick with Rev, because Revelation 1, Revelation, that's 4 syllables. Mm-hmm. When you can just call me Rev, it's 1 syllable. You know, don't waste your time like just calling my name all the time. But I've learned ever since I've been in business and even in music that Revelation is a powerful name, but I should own it. You know, so I've been getting better with saying, hey, what's up, man? My name's Revelation. And it kind of takes people back, like, is that your stage name? No, it's my real name. Yeah. And then they always ask, like, how do you get your name? Blah, 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 blah. And I always got to go and explain about that.
But that's a great conversation starter.
It is.
Like, anytime, think about if you just, like, meet someone, you shake their hand, you give them a nice, strong handshake, say, hi, my name is Revelation. And like you said, that's like, they're always going to be taken back by it, always going to be a conversation starter. And then, you know, if you like him, you can be like, yeah, you can call me Rev. If you don't like him, you can be like, no, it's Revelation.
Yeah, you need to not waste your breath, but you need to say my name with 4 syllables, bro.
Yeah. Oh, Curtis is calling me right now.
Oh, good. Answer it if you want to.
Answer right now? No.
You know, you good? Up to you. You
no,
can edit this.
No, it's okay. I'm just gonna respond because we're gonna debrief.
Oh, got you. Oh yeah, you had your appointment today.
It was crazy. So let's kind of start back from the beginning because you have such a. I mean, literally, this is why you're gonna have to come back on because we can talk about so much about like who you are and your story. Because were you born in Hawaii?
Born and raised all my life in Hawaii.
So let's start from the beginning. What's it like growing up? What's it like being born in Hawaii? What's it, you know, obviously island fever comes into play where you get stuck at being on an island.
Great question.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh,
just
okay.
how are you raised? What was family like?
So for me, so I was raised, man, I'm sure everybody has their own situation, but when I was 3, my mom passed away. She passed away of cancer. So that was back in '89. And my dad always worked at a prison. It's called Halava Prison, still there. But he retired from there. So the way I was raised was kind of just, you know, I didn't have a mom figure. I mean, it was my mom's sister who also passed away in 2014. Her name is Rosaline. Mommy Rosie, I used to call her. But she was the one that kind of raised me. My dad, I lived with my dad, but my dad was always working, right? And, you know, he had another got married to my stepmom at the time, and then they broke up. But when I grew up, I kind of moved all over the place. I lived in town. We grew up in Papakolea. Then we lived in Makiki, which is right down the road from Papakolea. Then I moved to Makakilo. So I moved a lot. And then from Makakilo, I moved to Mililani with my brother. And then I moved all over the place. So people always ask me, where'd you grow up at? I claim Papakolea because I love that. That's like a Hawaiian homesteads. You have to be, Hawaiian to actually live on the land or to own the land. But
Is this
that's
all on the same island?
It's just little like cities within the island.
This is the big island?
This is Oahu.
Oahu. So that's
Yeah.
the second biggest, right? Because the big island's the first one, right?
Big Island is the first one on the bottom right. That's the newest.
Bottom right. Oh, it's like
Yes.
this. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the
bottom right,
newest island, right? That's where Kilauea is at. That's where Mauna Kea is at.
Okay.
That's where like it's still growing there.
Okay.
That's the baby of the islands. Then there's Maui. Man, I don't know all the islands, but there's Maui. There's Oahu.
I don't know
Kauai,
neither, so you can say whatever you want. I'm like, yeah.
Kaho'olawe, Lanai. So all these islands. But yeah, I grew up on Oahu. Mainly my family, so my dad's side of the family, they live on the Big Island.
Okay.
We used to go there every time, so we would fly back and forth. And my dad was the type of guy that he liked to, I don't know. We're shooting stuff right now, so he liked to bust his butt at work. He would work 16-hour shifts, but he also liked to drink.
Okay.
So maybe every other weekend he would kind of like binge drink, and it would just kind of get nuts. But some of my family up in the Big Island also, there's not much to do.
Yeah.
There is a lot to do, but from what I've experienced, whenever I've traveled to the Big Island, it's not much to do there. You can work, you could do extracurricular activities, whatever the heck you want to do. But a lot of my family up there just kind of drank and played sports, I guess you can say. But in essence, that's how I grew up. So I lived all over the place. But how is it being raised there? Dude, you have food from all over the place. So they call, Hawaii the melting pot of the Pacific because you have everyone coming there.
Yeah.
All types of food. We're heavily influenced by Asians. Like we have a lot of our food is just Asian food.
Yeah.
And we love that, The food is amazing. The people are amazing. Depending on where you go. At the end of the day, there's stupid people in every type of cultures. We got some stupid Hawaiians too. We have some amazing Hawaiians. There's this, and then when I say that, if any Hawaiians are watching, I'm just saying like we all know that there's a lot of people with a lot of aloha that would just have your back for anybody. Of course, if you steer us wrong, then that's a whole nother story. But there's some people that actually they're just dicks, and it's not all Hawaiians. It's just all dick people.
Yeah.
In any type of culture, right? So.
Like you mean dick, like as in the fact of like they only like locals?
Yeah. So like
I've heard some of those things.
Yeah. That's great question. So like mainly to the white people, I guess you can say. They're called, we call them haoles, and I don't know exactly what that means. Some people say it's white, but if you kind of break down ha-ole, ha means breath, ole means no, like so no breath. And I might get corrected in the comments, but I guess they called them haole because when they first came to the islands, I don't know if you guys know, but we got taken over by a bunch of white people and all that blah 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 blah. You can do your own research, but when we first saw the Hawaiians, the indigenous people first saw the white man come on their boat, it looked like they were pale, right? Because they're white, so they look like ghost, which is ghosts have like no breath, right? So that's kind of like a lot of white people when they come down, they get crap from the silly locals that are there.
Yeah.
Right? Not everybody's like that though.
Yeah.
We have a lot of solid people over there, but I mean, you'll experience the culture is amazing, the food is amazing, the people are amazing.
What's the food like,
bro?
Is it like seafood? Is it because you say Asian? I love Asian food. Is it?
Yeah.
So is it like seafood heavy?
Nah. No. So like I'm sure everyone's familiar with poke.
Oh yeah.
Right. It's like pronounced pokey up here in the States, but that's incorrect. It's pronounced poke, right? Don't ask me what that means
Poke.
necessarily. Yeah, but it's funny because that stuck in my head because every time when I was younger in elementary school, they said it's not poke. Poke means chopped up children. Pronounce it poke. So I don't even know if that's a real thing. I didn't do my Google research, but poke, everyone knows what that is. Well, a lot of that came from Hawaii. Like there's stores in Hawaii where you can just pull up, like Foodland, who probably makes one of the best pokes, but they'll have like 15 varieties of poke that you can choose from.
Oh, wow.
The food, I mean, we love rice, right? So rice would be like the influence from Asian. Rice, Kalua pig, which is roast.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Kalua pig, lau lau, lomi salmon. So all like the traditional luau's type of stuff. But me, I like my loco moco. Do you know how I judge? I judge how Hawaiian a restaurant is in the States based off of how they make their loco moco.
What is Loco Moco?
Okay.
I knew you were waiting for me to ask that.
Yeah. So loco moco is a bed of white rice with one or two hamburger patties that's seasoned well. And then you have an over easy egg or two over easy eggs. And then you have a side of macaroni salad. And then you have gravy all over.
What?
Dude.
I've never heard of this.
I will make that for you.
This is like all my favorite things into one.
Yeah, dude. It's dope. It's dope. So there's one place that I always go back when I when I first land. I either go to L&L's, the original one, or I go to Zippy's, but I usually just go straight to L&L's. Anyways, you've heard of L&L's? It's in Dallas. It's kind of all over the place. So it's L&L. I don't know what it stands for, but it's a franchise, and it has like chicken katsu. It has like your Hawaiian franchise type of food, chicken katsu, kalua pig, all this stuff. But the original one is on Liliha Street, and I've been going there since I was in elementary school.
Oh, wow.
And they still make it the same. These plates are like $6-7, maybe a little bit more now because of inflation, but you'll walk out with a 4 or 5 pound plate, and it's mostly rice, but like the gravy is on another level, like the food is on another level with that. So that's what a loco moco is. I will make you one.
Yeah, I gotta cash that check.
I'll make you one, bro. I got you.
How do you feel about Hawaiian Bros?
Ooh,
because I eat Hawaiian Bros like often.
Yeah,
because there's one right by the office.
I know. So I go there too. So
okay, so you can't be that bad.
yeah,
it can't be that bad.
Look, I see that there's a lot of people that. Are you allowed to swear on your podcast?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, we can swear. I've been swearing the whole time.
Oh, perfect.
You should watch the one I did.
I will. I will, dude. I will.
If you think swearing is bad, wait till you hear the stuff we were talking about.
Man, I gotta go take a look at that, dude. Yeah. My apologies for not even. I just see the stuff that you have on top of your IG.
But people get busy, I know.
Yeah. So question was Hawaiian Bros. Okay, cool. So at the end of the day, a lot of people talk a lot of crap about this place called Hawaiian Bros. And there's
there's a lot of people talking crap about it.
The locals.
Oh, the locals. Okay.
Yeah.
I've not heard nothing but good things from non-locals.
and that's totally fine, because they've never experienced like the real type of Hawaiian food. So I will say this: I still go to Hawaiian Bros. But if I had to choose between them and somebody else, I'll probably choose somebody else. What I do love about Hawaiian Bros is they're very, I wouldn't say scripted, but they're very just.
They're good at what they do.
Yeah, they're like
it's like I get the Hawaiian experience. You're like malaho, or what? I don't even know what it says. What does it say?
It's mahalo.
Mahalo.
Like I say mahalo, but it's just funny because I'm Hawaiian. I'm going through the drive-through.
Yeah.
And they're like, aloha, welcome to Hawaiian Bros. Can I take your order? Would you like some pineapple? How about a side of musubi?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Mahalo.
It's
and then I go up. I was like, here you go. She's like, here to drive to the second window. Mahalo. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so mainlandish.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I love the fact that Hawaiian Bros is a drive-through, and literally when you order it, next minute you pay for it. Within a minute you get your food.
Bro, okay. It's so funny. That's so underrated because I have never waited at a drive-thru at Hawaiian Bros. As soon as I pay, I'm there. It's gone.
That's what I mean.
It's so quick.
Like,
I've never heard someone say it out loud though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, bro, that's the main reason why I probably go there is because I get my rice fix and a chicken fix, right? So there's a whole bunch of different chicken mixes. I like I don't know if it's the Killer Whale one or the Honolulu one. Either way, it's like the garlic chicken.
Yeah.
So it's not like the food is bad. It's not like the rice is bad. It's just that's all they have is chicken and then Kahlua pig. The Kahlua pig is pretty good too. Mac salad, gotta go. I'll eat it, the whole thing, by the way.
Yeah.
But the mac salad is not good. And then the steamed vegetables, I was trying to drop weight one time, and I got steamed vegetables instead of rice and mac salad. That was a big no-no. So
yeah, there's not a lot of options, and I just stick with the rice and meat, and the mac and salad's mid. But I love mac salad, so I'll suffer through it.
Yeah. So that's what I have to say about Hawaiian Bros. There's other places you can go check out, but that's my take. Like I said, I judge a Hawaiian place by their local moco. They don't have it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's got to be coming soon.
No.
No.
I don't think with them. I don't know why, but I've always wanted to just be like, who is your guys' person of like contact for this place? Because I can give you a little tip about your mac salad over here, because your mac salad is not. Yes, I do eat it because I like it. I just like mac salad, but on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 6 or 7.
Yeah, I'd probably put it right there too.
Yeah. But
cool. So, did you ever play like water sports or surf or like go like what's it called, like diving or
yeah.
What's the one with the arrow? You know what I'm talking about? Spearfishing.
Yeah,
Spearfishing.
you said arrow. Yeah, the spear.
Have you ever been spearfishing?
I have.
No
bro.
way.
Funny story. So, I've never played any water sports.
Okay, so you never surfed?
Bro, how's that for a Hawaiian, right? I've tried it.
Okay.
I've tried it, and for some reason, as a drummer that has 4 limbs that has to play drums, I have a hard time keeping my balance on a surfboard.
I've heard surfing is the hardest thing to keep your balance on because I've skated, I've wakeboarded, and I snowboard. I've never surfed, but from the people that have done all, they've told me surfing is the hardest.
Okay, perfect. So that I have an excuse to not.
Yeah,
learn
we'll
how
get
to
you
surf
the get out of
then.
jail free card.
I mean, shoot, dude. I've wakeboarded last year. We did some shows up in I don't know, Montana or something like that, and it took me a long time to get up on. But I finally got up. Anyways, that was the longest I've ever been on a wave because besides, okay, so I don't surf.
Mm-hmm.
I've done wakeboarding recently with the past year or two, which is dope. But my body was sore. I got my shout out to my boy Mahi. We used to go to this country club or canoe club down in Waikiki. And I don't know how we did it for so many years because I don't even think he had any like pass to get on there. But basically we would rent a canoe when the waves are popping. So we would work out in the gym there. After we were done, we'd rent a canoe. And there'll usually be 4 of us. And we'll go out in the ocean. And, dude, he's the one that popped my cherry with that thing. He knows how to steer a canoe. So if you've ever seen canoes catch a wave, this guy can, I don't know what it's called, like skate or like carve his way through a wave, but the waves would be pretty huge, dude. And I've had some bad experiences with waves. Like I felt like I was gonna drown.
Yeah.
Back in my early years when I was young, big waves coming in, I'm like getting barreled underneath the waves. So, I'm kind of like, wow, these are huge waves, dude. What the hell? So, long story short, he got to pop my cherry with being able to surf waves, dude, on a canoe. And this canoe is like from here to there. So I guess it's like maybe like 10 to 12 feet, maybe. I might be wrong. But he's steering this whole thing, and just imagine this huge canoe just surfing the wave. And the waves are like, if this right here, it's taller than that, and we're going down.
Yeah.
Right?
I would imagine it's probably like, 20 feet?
Nah, it's not that big,
no,
bro. I would never. Heck
like
no.
10 feet?
Yeah, maybe the biggest that we had was like 10 feet.
Okay.
But, so when you look at this is like, even
like
though
8
this
feet.
might be like 8 feet, in terms of surfing, this might be like 4 or 5 feet.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I don't even know how to explain because I'm not a surfer. But yeah, so when you say
The
20
circumference as you get closer to the edge. So count the, I don't know.
I don't know, bro. Usually I have my Mr. Google next to me, but it's face down over here. But I got to go look for those videos because I used to GoPro all that stuff and it was dope.
No way. You have GoPros for all that stuff?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, that's gonna be
Yeah, I
sick.
lost one or two of them, but I still got some stuff. It's just it's in this other file that my ex has.
Oh, we
so.
gotta go get it.
Yeah. I'll get it one day. So that's the extent of me doing stuff like that. But
you ever see sharks?
so that leads to my next one.
All right, that's good.
The answer is no. I haven't seen sharks out there. I have, but like, yeah, it would be like far away, right? And I wouldn't be in the water,
Got you.
right? So, spearfishing. First time I ever went spearfishing or diving was at night, not in the daytime.
How can you see?
You got flashlights,
Oh, dang.
bro, or headlamps,
Yeah.
right? So, I'll say this in like 30 seconds. A friend of mine used to live in where am I drawing up? Wahiwa, and his name is Jay Keys. He's an amazing keyboardist. He's dope, man. He plays for a lot of people. He sings amazing too. Shout out to Jay Keys, Jarrell Nakapui. But he was like, hey, you want to come out spearfishing or go diving? I said, yeah, I'm down. He's like, just to let you know, it's going to be nighttime. I said, bro, what? I'm not going to be able to see anything down there. Like, what if there's a shark? I'm asking all these questions, all these logical questions.
Yeah.
Like, what if I see a shark? What am I going to do? Am I poking him in the nose? Do I go for the eye? Like, do I back up? Do I say anything? Do I get out of the water? Like, what do I do? Do I just shine the flashlight at him? He's like, bro, don't worry, dude. It's going to be okay. So anyways, put on everything for the first time, swimsuit or wetsuit, fins, all these things I've never had on before, and just got in the water.
How old are you?
I was shoot. I was out of school already. I was an adult. 27, 28 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Long story short, I come out shooting the fishes I'm not supposed to shoot because you're not supposed to shoot fishes that are like small little fishes.
Yeah.
I just didn't see any big fish, man. I was just kind of like making sure I didn't get bit by anything spectacular. So that was my experience in.
Was it cool to see anything? Did you see anything cool?
Well, that's the thing. I didn't see anything. I might have seen some bubbles come out of one of my friend's butt, but that was about it. I didn't see anything. I didn't catch anything, and that was the first and only time I've ever done spearfishing at night. I've done it during the day after that, and that is cool.
Okay, what was that like?
It's dope. I mean, it's better because you can actually see, and then the depth of the water was anywhere between 8 feet to like 20 feet. So if you can hold your breath, the problem for me is that I think my left ear, I can't pop it. So once I go down a certain level, you're supposed to go, blow and then pop your ears, but I can't pop my left ear. So I could only go down for like 8 to 10 feet, and I could never go where all my other friends were going. But it's dope because you can actually go and see what you're going to catch. I don't know all the fishes that you're able to catch, but, I just asked my friend, "Let that one over there? Can I shoot that one?" Yeah, go. Miss. So who's winning right now? The fishes are winning. It's 0 and 0, and they win so much. I never caught a fish yet.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So, okay. What was there any other like activities that stood out to you? Did you go to like waterfalls? Did you go hikes? Like, what was like memorable Hawaii moments like growing up?
I
Because the sunsets always look beautiful.
Yeah. Sunrise, sunsets are beautiful, man. I didn't really get to appreciate that until obviously we get older, right? I do remember. So there's a lot of ocean activity, right? You can go to the beach. You can go and barbecue at the beach. Like I'm telling you what I remember because I actually remember it. With barbecue at the beach, that's the family time, right? You go to the water. You camp on the beach. It's all your family there. Have great food. I do remember this one specific time though, and I always bring it up when somebody talks about Michael Jackson.
Okay.
And there's a reason why. So we used to go to this place called Bellows, and I used to stay with my cousin all the time. Bellows is a place where it's on the east side of Oahu, and you have to go through like it's a Bellows Air Force Base, if I'm not mistaken. You have to actually be allowed to go in there. But the reason why we liked it is because I was young at the time. I was intermediate time, and it was 97, and you can go out for like 50 feet and be able. It's a sandbar. You can walk out and you can catch waves. You can practice bodyboarding or boogie boarding. So there's a lot of that. That would be like the activities. And the reason why I remember it so vividly is because I remember somebody getting a phone call from my other cousin and my brother saying, hey, we have a ticket for you to come to watch Michael Jackson at Aloha Stadium. You need to pick up, right? I didn't have a phone back then, but I think it's calling like the house. Come to find out, I was in the water for so long, enjoying the beach. I missed it. I found out that it was too late already and I couldn't go. So I always regret that because Michael Jackson, I don't care how you guys feel about him. Yeah, I get it. I don't know what is true, what is not true. But I will say this. Michael Jackson is one of the top on my list as far as the GOAT of entertainers.
Yeah.
You know, I would have loved to have seen him perform.
Oh,
Even though I would have been in the nosebleeds,
it don't matter.
I missed it because I was enjoying the water, which is one of the things that I remember is it's just the water, man. It's beautiful over there. So that's the Michael Jackson story that I always regret staying in the water. Never really went to any waterfalls. There's a bunch of hiking stuff that we did with school. Like we would always take field trips with school and go hiking. I don't remember a lot of it. I just remember that it was a lot of walking. The first time I ever got appreciation for the nature of the land is I was performing with a band called Maoli. They live on the island of Maui, and I would always tour with them, but rarely did I go on the island and experience it. So long story short, there's like, hey, Rev, you got to go and experience, our island. So they took me to like Dog Pond or something like that. There all these different places. And that was probably 2012, 2013. It was at that time that I realized that, dang, I've been living the city life the whole time in Oahu and never really had appreciation for like our islands. So, I mean, after that, I would jump off waterfalls in the Big Island. There's a place on the Big Island that's on the south side, if I'm not mistaken. I definitely have videos of that, but I think the drop is like 25 feet, maybe 30 feet. And the way to climb up is like this steel ladder that you got to actually, if this is the ocean and you're like treading water, you got to actually like try and like super fly up and grab the ladder, because it's like, it's not all the way down in the water. You have to go and try and grab it. So good luck trying to even get up to that place. But there's a lot of hiking places, bro. People love to go hiking. Unfortunately, people don't come back sometimes because they're not paying attention to, man, there's a lot of things that, like, once the rain starts, sometimes it just can wipe you away. We had a couple agents in our industry that ended up got swiped away a couple years ago during COVID.
What do you mean they got swiped away?
So I think PHP went to Maui. It was one of the first big events that Maui ever had after opening up to the public. And so it was a PHP event that went there, usually all expenses paid. And then you can do whatever you want. There's always the meetings and stuff, but you can do whatever you want. And there's a group of people that ended up going hiking in a certain area. And there was a flash. So the water was, it was water meaning the rain. It was like drizzling, right? It wasn't too heavy. But there was a flash flood warning. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's called a flash flood warning for a reason. Like, in a flash, it could flood. This is your warning. So what happened was, I think these guys went up, and then some of the families came back. I forget the whole story exactly. Long story short, they got wiped away by the water.
And where did they go though?
If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if they found both of the bodies or just one of them, but usually it just goes down. So you're on a mountain, and this is close to the ocean. So if I'm not mistaken, I don't know what happened, but rest in peace to those guys. But they were agents that got taken away too soon, and I heard they were dope people. I heard they were cool, but you just gotta, some people like they go to watch the blowholes. Are you familiar with blowholes? So like on the
there's like a rock and then
there's a rock and then right. and like people like to take pictures on top of the on the rocks,
yeah,
right?
they'll
Like
sit
or
on
next
top
to
of
the
it or
ocean or
something.
something like that. But these places where there's blowholes or when you're right next to the ocean, you cannot turn your back on the ocean
Yeah.
at all. And just like you got to take heed to all these warnings if you go hiking or you go to a waterfall. A lot of people perish because they don't, they don't know. You just got to be careful. That's why it's good to listen to some locals if they give you a heads up. But, not trying to like bring everything down right now, but at the end of the day, the land is beautiful, the culture is beautiful, but if you don't respect it,
Yeah.
then culture and land,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If you don't respect it, then you got another thing coming. So
That's unfortunate, but you do have to respect, the land, the water. I've been in situations where it's, I mean, even here in Texas, right? If you don't respect the wind, the tornadoes, the lightning, which I mean, it's not comparable, right? But
I mean, still though,
or
like
the hail.
yeah,
You haven't been through a hail or even some of the ice.
I have.
Have you been through some?
I have. It's funny, man. So we moved here in 2021, November 2021, and I think it was January of 2022. Sirens start going off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm used to the sirens going off in Hawaii, but it's not as often. But sirens going off, tornado warning. I'm like, damn. So like my kids don't know anything about it, and then like I got my mother-in-law in the house, and I got Senia, and she's like, we gotta put the kids somewhere. Like, get them inside the pantry room. Like, why you guys tripping? Like right now, like so they start getting like all crazy,
Yeah.
and my kids start getting scared.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I get it. This is the first time. Okay, cool. We'll play it safe. Then like a couple months later, I don't know exactly, but it happened again.
Mm-hmm.
So it started happening more often than not, and I'm like, you guys need, bro, like chill.
Hey,
You
we're
guys
fine.
need- yeah, we're
fine.
we're cruising. Like, hey, we can take the next step, which is go over there and then cover you with whatever, like the bedding and stuff, like the actual bed. But just pray that we're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to experience. That's the crazy thing about living in Texas is the weather. People always ask me because when I meet people here, they're like, "Why'd you move from Hawaii to here?" Because they find out I grew up in Hawaii, but they forget that I actually moved to California in 2015, and that's how I started my family in 2015. And then we got into the financial insurance industry. We became brokers, and we got asked to move out here to Dallas, which brings me into Dallas, right? But people ask me, why'd you move out here? I said, well, because it helped open up a brokerage, because that's what we got asked to do, and we wanted to do it too. But the only difference between here and Hawaii, I feel like, is actually there's a lot of differences.
Yeah,
There's a lot of differences.
There's no sharks here.
I always say I love it here. I love it here in Dallas. The only thing that's I'm not used to is just the up and down with the weather.
Yeah.
But I love the people here. I love the people I work with. I love the family that we work with. Like, the family, people we're building life with in business. That's like the family that I choose to do life with up here. You know what I mean? Like, we have a solid group of people, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so stoked to that we all met each other. But food is good. The fact that you can carry to keep your family safe is dope. People don't really get too crazy on the roads as far as I've experienced because, if somebody's carrying and packing, like, you're probably packing too. Like, just don't get into any scraps, right? So besides the weather, I love it here in Texas. We can always, like I said, I can always go back to Hawaii. It's not that expensive to go back there. We got family over there, but I'll go there for a week and then come back.
So, how did you get into music and then eventually leaving the island?
Yeah. So I wasn't planning on becoming a musician. Out of high school, I did some security work, just like at the norm. I used to dress up in suits and work at Louis Vuitton for like the security that stands in the front.
No way.
Bro, I would stand.
I cannot.
Bro, I can
see you though in like a suit with like a earplug. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like security.
yeah.
I can totally see it.
Yeah. I was working at the city first, and then something happened, and I got let go from the city. But I was working for the same company, and they said, you know what? do security. You're gonna dress in a suit. You're gonna be in the front. You just gotta walk around once in a while, but you just make sure nobody steals anything. So that's what I did. Cool thing about that, if Aiden ever watches this, one thing that I remember about doing security, I'm getting to me becoming a musician. So so the whole thing.
Take your
but
time.
I stood in the front. It was me and another guy, and I saw someone walking in. He was like 5'5", and little murphed out. And I saw his tattoo on his shoulder, and it was like a tattoo like of a sun, right? I was like, no way. So in my mind, I'm thinking, if I'm not mistaken, this guy's a wrestler, and he's usually masked, like he has a mask on. So I turned my head. I was like, oh, that is him. I tap him. It was a wrestler. His name was Rey Mysterio.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio came
I love
into
her. 619.
Yeah. He was in there with his family.
Is in Hawaii?
He was there when I was working there.
I got
Yeah,
in
so
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just there, in Louis Vuitton, probably buying some Louis Vuitton stuff. But I was like, hey man, nice to meet you. Look, I'm a big fan. Like, dude, I mean, I love wrestling. I grew up with wrestling. That's actually one of the things that I wanted to do. That's what it's currently still in me, that if I could get into shape, if I can make enough money doing this, if I ever get a shot to be a wrestler, like WWE,
Bro, we should put on a wrestling event.
I'm telling you, bro,
We would all have so much fun.
I'm one of the best fake punchers in the world.
Bro, we could all do it. I used to always fake wrestle or like
No
wrestle
way.
with my boys when we were kids. Yeah.
Dude, we did
Get a ring and everything.
we did a I don't know if anybody remembers. I don't know if you remember WCW Nitro. So-
Barely.
Okay. Yeah, you're younger than me, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So at one point in time there was WWF and then WCW. And they used to go back and forth. Anyways,
Oh
that
yeah.
was the
Yeah.
Attitude Era. But Nitro had these Nitro girls. They're kind of like cheerleaders. And if you would submit a video of you having a Nitro party, which is basically a wrestling party, watching WCW, if you win, they fly out the Nitro girls so you can have your own party. So we created, in our yard, we had a big yard. We had a ring full of like plywoods with our bed on top. And then our ropes was basically 1x1s. So it wasn't ropes, it was wood, right? My brother like made the whole entrance like Titantron thing.
No way.
Put fireworks on top. So like we had a sound system. My uncle was commentating on top of the speaker. It was nighttime. We invited our family there. So the cool things, like, right, we would light the fireworks and then play the music. We'd walk out. I think I was Billy Kidman. My brother was, if you're familiar with Goldberg, he's just a thick guy, right? But because my brother's a little bit more heftier, right? He's a little bit big boned. We called him Poiberg because Poi is, I don't know, it's just funny. Just look it up what Poi is. But Poiberg, we had Sting, and then we had somebody else. I don't know what my other brother was, but we would slam each other into the gates. Long story short, it was a freaking amazing time. The crappy thing is that my uncle was commentating, doing jokes the whole time. Like, it was funny, but he was making jokes the whole time while the camera person, my cousin Nikki, was laughing. So the camera was like this, just shaking. And I'm like, come on, you guys are not professionals over here. Like we're trying to do professional video. Anyways, that's like my thing. That's one thing I want to do is do wrestling. So that's how I met Rey Mysterio. I was doing security. Then I got into carpentry. I went to school for that. I did carpentry for a few years. And what made me move into the music industry is that I got laid off from carpentry. I think I was out of a 60 or 70% contract with like apprentice. I got laid off from carpentry, and now I'm collecting unemployment. I was making like $700, $800 a week just collecting unemployment.
Whoa.
Because we're in a union, right? So I just got to wait until I get hired again. So while I'm doing that, in fact, I'll back up a little bit. I used to go to work from 7 to 3:30, and then I would have a gig at 4:30 in Waikiki. That would take me like 35 to 40 minutes to get there. And then I would have to park my car illegally. I would have to wash myself up. Like I'm dirty as fuck right now. So I'm like doing the bird bath. And then I go set up my drums, come back, move my car, and then hopefully make it like at 4:35 to start the gig. play from 4:30 to 7:30, and then I'll shoot it to my next gig at 9:30 to 12:30, and that'll be like my routine for 2, 3, 4 nights a week. So then I stopped. So I was making good money. I was making good money playing music, and I was making good money doing carpentry. Then I stopped carpentry. I was collecting unemployment, and now my whole focus was on music. Then I realized, like, shoot, if I just do 4, 5, 6 gigs a week, I can get paid just as much as I was busting ass for 40 hours a week. So then I started taking music seriously, and you know, I have, just like anybody else, I had to work my way up. People looked at me as like, oh yeah, this guy used to jump for Kalauli boys, and I was just like the upcoming drummer, but still kind of super new. The guys that gave me my big break was these boys called Hot Rain. Shout out to the Hot Rain boys. What happened was they saw me. I used to study these guys all the time. They were amazing in this reggae genre that I wanted to learn. So what happened was I studied the drummer, Leslie Ludiazo, and they saw my growth from where I first started, which is really islandish drumming. No offense, but it was just very different. It wasn't reggae, to how I was then. And what happened was the drummer, Leslie's like, bro, you sorry, my Hawaiian, my pigeons come, brah, you sound dope, dude. I need you to fill in drums for me. You're going to go to Tonga, Samoa, Fiji, New Zealand, Australia. I can't do it, but the boys trust you.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was like my first big, like, oh, shoot. Because Hot Rain was backing up an artist called Fiji, J. Boog, Alanga Sevilla, all these Polynesian artists. And I got to travel with them to all these places because they trusted me and because I got better in my craft. So it kind of stemmed from there. Started playing with Boogs a lot. It was mostly international gigs with those guys. But then people started seeing me play with them. And eventually what happened is that as time went by, everyone that I've ever looked up to, whether I was in elementary, intermediate, or high school, everyone that I've ever looked up to as far as musicians, big bands that had big names, I ended up playing with all of them.
What?
Yeah.
Your dream came true.
I went from like being like, oh yeah, like my, I wouldn't say idols, but like I look up to them. They're doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
And eventually it's like, Rev, can you come play with us? Can you play this? Can you do that? I was like, yeah, just, and it just became natural for me. But I'm thinking, when I think about it, I'm like, dude, and I still tell them, it's like, bro, I used to listen to you guys' music all the time. It's just dope that I get to play with you guys,
Yeah.
But yeah, like I love it, dude. The music industry is dope. There's a lot of ups and downs, especially with COVID, right? Right now I play for a band called Fortunate Youth, and I can definitely tell you that story. That story is just hella funny. But I play with them currently still yet. I just, it's a passion of mine. But right now I got to focus on building our team and our business here in Dallas. So I'm probably not going to do like the big long tours that they do, but we'll see, working on things for sure. But I definitely, anyways, if you don't have anything else to say, I got to tell you about this story, how I ended up with Fortunate Youth. So I started with a band called Mo'oli back in 2012. And I got in because that same guy that got me in with all the international shows, he recommended me to this band called Mo'oli. Go look them up. Mo'oli's dope right now. They're like big. They sold out. Right now they sold out Blaisdell Arena for 2 nights in a row. I think that's like 5,000 maybe each night. They sold out Waikiki Shell. Bob Marley played at Waikiki Shell. But these guys sold it out 3 nights in a row. That's like 8,500. So at that time, they weren't doing that. Like, we were playing at bars, right? Small bars. We're just trying to make it. So anyways, we played at this one place I think it's called the Boardwalk in Sacramento. Mo'oli's there, which is the band I was playing with. Fortunate Youth is there. And I wasn't really, they were playing like, I call it white boy reggae music because that's what I've always called it. We've always called it. But I know some of the guys in the band, Fortunate says it's good vibe music, right? So either way, It's like the whole revolution, stick figure, like that whole type of genre. Anyways, I wasn't really digging the vibe with the music. It just sounded different. It could have been cut. The sound was different at that time. That's when I met him. Fast forward to 2018. I'm playing with somebody else in the Bay Area. Her name was Anu here. Love you, Anu. She was playing like a wedding there. I get a call saying, hey, Fortunate Youth, they found out that you're in LA. They need help. So I called them. They said, Brev, are you in LA? I said, well, I'm in the Bay right now, but I will be. I live in LA. It's like, can you jump on tour with us in 2 days? I was like, how many shows? Like 4 shows. I said, what happened? So they explained what happened, with the drummer at the time. So I'm like, you send me your live material, I'll do it, right? Like, I just got to learn the live material, which is exactly what I got to play. Just give me the live material. I don't want no YouTube bullshit. Like, give me the live material. So they gave it to me. We're supposed to practice on a Monday and a Tuesday. I didn't do my part, and I wasn't super confident. I told them cancel the Monday one. We were rehearsing at Orange County. I don't know. It's like a civic center or something like that. So it's like the whole huge venue that we're rehearsing at. So I went on Tuesday. We played it. We killed it. They said, okay, cool. Rev, good job. We'll pick you up next to your house because we got to head up to Ventura or something like that. Mind you, when I met them initially with Maoli and Fortunate Youth, they had like a party bus, but they made the party bus into like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you're looking back of the bus, they had one bed here, beds, so that's 4 beds, and then bed. If I'm not mistaken, it was like 6 beds. It might have been 5 beds. But they had like a party bus makeshift into a, like a
RV.
RV-ish,
like
right?
Thing.
Yeah, just like a camper, I guess you can say. So the day that they come pick me up to go to the first show, I'm like, okay, I'm here at the location. I'm waiting inside my car with my wife. I'm expecting that beat up, black or white bus at that time to come pick me up. Bro, these guys come pulling up in a tour bus, like a dope tour bus. I wasn't sure it was them, but they parked. So I pulled up. They parked where they needed to park because of parking. And it was like a big park area. So I pulled up next to them. I kind of looked at them. I was like, I opened up the door. I was like, is this Fortunate Youth's bus? They're like, yeah, we're here to pick you up, right? I was like, oh, snap. So I loaded up my stuff in the Bay Area, and then I went inside the bus. I'm like, when did you guys get this? Like, you guys didn't have this before. You guys had that freaking party bus, handicap kind of like looking bus that you guys had. It's like, they were like, Rev, it's been some years since we've seen you. We've been putting in the work. I'm like, damn, man. I'm stoked for you guys. Cool. I'm stoked for me too.
Yeah,
I'm on the bus. So I go and crash out in my bunk for the first time. And then we get to the next destination. Time to set up my drums. I'm used to setting up my own stuff. I wake up from my bunk and about to walk out, set up my drums. And then they stop me and they're like, where are you going? So I'm going to go set up my stuff. You guys said it's a loadout. We got a sound check. It's like, no, bro. We got a team for that. You don't need to set up anything. I said, so what? I just got to come there and play the drums and that's it? He's like, yep. I said, oh, my God. Are you serious, dude? So that was kind of like what hooked me. On top of that, they take care of me very well. We've been across the whole United States. We do that all the time. I got to go with some big name guys in the industry, Slightly Stupid, Comic Kings, Pepper, Michael Franti, you name it. Like we performed with them, built a lot of good relationships through it. Went on my first cruise with them. Went to Mexico. Like we just came back from Dominican Republic, played for the owner of Goya Products. I mean, he threw on a big, huge luau. So we'll be at Cali Vibes. I don't know when this is going to air, but we'll be at Cali Vibes in February sometime. That's like one of the hugest concerts, reggae concerts, that's in Long Beach area. But I thought that was a cool story because people always ask, how did you get to play with Fortunate Youth? And that's kind of like the story I always tell. And I think it's a dope story because I'm like, you guys are picking up in a tour bus and like this and that. And you guys started from the bottom. And now, they're not there. They're there. But there's always work to be done,
Man, that's so cool. It's you're literally like a rock star. It's so cool.
It is, bro. But you know, like there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of bands that are
Yeah.
out there that do the same thing too. And that's where it kind of like I was looking at this year with these guys. I'm like, okay, cool. I hope we don't get comfortable.
Right.
You know, I don't want any of us to get comfortable because I've seen some guys. You know, I'm not gonna name any names, but I've seen some guys kind of take off, and I wouldn't say bypass us, but have grown a good following, have been able to up their, you know, their pay in a sense. I'm assuming because they usually, if somebody plays after you,
Yeah.
they cost more.
Right.
Right. I'm basing it off of that. But you know, so like but I heard some guys say like, hey, let's make this year like a solid year. I'm hoping that kind of talk isn't just like a new year, new me type of vibe.
Yeah.
I want it to be like a real thing, because my thing is, if I'm gonna invest my time into anything, especially music, I kind of want it more than you, especially if that's your baby. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm not necessarily part of the band. I'm very close with all the boys in the band. I love them all. But you know, I'm still kind of a hired gun, right? Like
Right.
I'm not obligated to be there, but I kind of am, you know, because I can always find somebody else to play. Like for all of our conventions, I'm always at the conventions because they know I got to be at the conventions.
Yeah.
So there's always somebody else to fill in. But you know, I'm just hoping that we'll see, because our first gig of the year, besides the Dominican Republic, is Cali Vibes, and I want to see where it goes. I want to see where their mindset is at, and I mean, that's not a call out, by the way. That I just want to see where we want to go as a team, as Fortunate Youth, with that, and that's like a whole. That's my passion. Is music.
Is it competitive with other bands
Oh, bro, it's competitive, kind of like in
in business?
our business.
Ours is way
like,
more competitive.
yeah, that's way more competitive.
I feel like I'm assuming. I feel like in a band scenario, it would be competitive, but also like passive aggressive. Am I correct or wrong?
So when you say that, you're talking about like between the bands.
Yeah.
Bro, to be honest, in the genre that we're in, and maybe it might be like that for other genres too, but in the reggae industry, bro, it's all love.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's you know, everyone has their different personalities. We definitely got different personalities in the band. It's there's so much stuff I can talk about within the band, but that's in every band. But when it comes from like band to band, we're all about helping each other out, right?
Okay.
We're all about collabing. Like, how can I, you know, because some of the boys, let me give you an example. Common Kings, amazing. They're all Polynesians, right? They're Tongan, Samoan, Hawaiian, like they're all different, but they're a pretty well known band that's coming up. They actually went on tour with like Justin Timberlake, bro. Like that's like no island reggae / you know, reggae band ever goes with like Justin.
Yeah.
But these guys went, right? But the example is like they want to work with everybody. You know, they're actually on a lot of. So when we did a in Lake Tahoe, there was a show that we played, and there was basically one whole tour and another whole tour that came together at this one show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this one festival. So on our tour, we had Slightly Stupid, Pepper, Common Kings, and then we were the openers. And in the other tour, it was like 4 or 5 different bands. All the boys. We're all friends, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a picture on the phone that I just saw the other day that we took with all the bands backstage. Because, bro, we're just like anybody else, right? We just play music. We're in front of people. But everybody has their own family. Like, we like to have fun. But anyways, where was I going with the story? Oh, Common Kings. So they hopped on almost everyone's set because they have a song with everyone on their album.
Oh, so it's literally like, hey, we're gonna perform with all of y'all because we rock with y'all.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smart marketing tool. You know what I mean?
It
like
is a smart marketing tool as well.
Because so the point of that is that there is no like animosity towards each other. Like, of course, everyone wants to get better, but just like in business, you're just trying to push each other up.
I got you.
But in this way, there's no. I've never ever seen bad blood between bands.
Really?
I've never.
That's like pleasantly surprising.
You
'Cause
gotta
I mean, I don't know the industry, so
yeah, you gotta figure we're in the reggae industry, right? Peace, love, and unity. Like,
Okay, that makes sense.
It
That totally makes sense.
it's either talking about getting yourself out of like like what Bob used to teach, with his music, just not being oppressed or something, like just not letting the government hold you down, right? Like get out of that, like be your own person. A lot of reggae music is not really about negativity.
Got you.
Like not.
That's why you're always so happy.
Papa cap in the motherfucking yes. No, you don't do that. There's other caps that you can pop, and it's not coming from this gun, right? It's gonna be from down there. It'll make a lot of babies. But no, it's super positive, dude. And you got like all these big bands in the reggae industry, and we're all in the same place, and we're all just cruising in the back. Like, it's, man, if you could see all the stuff on my phone, it's just hilarious, because we'd be like, shots.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
fun, man! I gotta come
right.
backstage when y'all are having
Bro.
a party one day,
Dude.
Oh,
I'm
when y'all gonna be in Dallas?
So I don't think we're gonna be in Dallas this year, but I know there's a reggae fest. It's Dallas
Dang.
Reggae Fest is coming up in April, and there is a show that I'm going to go to, and that's the Mo'oli show. They'll be in Deep Ellum, I think it's something like that.
Oh, bro, I have to come.
Yeah, but you're coming with
I'm
me
coming.
then. Yeah. But they're gonna throw on an amazing show. But I'm trying to recruit a lot of people to go. A lot of our friends in business to come check them out, because they've never really heard island reggae music.
I have never heard it.
Yeah, and then you get to meet the people that actually play it. Like, that's all the boys, right?
Yeah.
So, go back to what you're saying, dude. It's a dope scene in the reggae scene. And, I don't know if any of your listeners like smoking weed, but a lot of those guys do that. I don't necessarily do that. I used to do that before, but I'm not against it, by the way. I can't function.
Yeah, I know. I feel that.
You want me to eat your food, I'll smoke with you, but like,
Yeah.
my old self, by the way. But I could never. So I just don't. A lot of the guys are is it productive smokers?
Yeah, high functioning.
Yeah.
Something.
I don't know how true that is, but
That's I mean, whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your boat.
yeah.
Okay, so how did you get into the financial service industry? It sounds like you were on the island, living
Yeah.
the island life, and then you're doing music and you're traveling, and you have it made. Like, it sounds, it all sounds good, right? It all sounds good.
Yeah.
I don't know what's behind the scenes and things like that. Why step into financial services?
Yeah, I'll give you the story of how I even got into it, which is what you're asking. So when I moved up to the mainland, the reason why I moved to call it the mainland, when I moved to California, the reason why I moved to California in 2015 is because I had my first son. So I started a family, and my wife was working. She just got a job at Netflix as an IT tech, making really, really good money. I literally didn't have to do anything, right? Just take care of my son. Then we had another baby, right? Then we have 3 babies together. I have 2 boys, 2 girls. She has 1 girl, 1 boy from previous relationships, but with us together, we have 3 together. So it's a blended family. We have 3 together. So what happens was, I'm just trying to figure out what I should do. I'm still playing music, just not as much, because now I live in the States and I'm not able to play shows back in Hawaii. So if I did any shows, it'll be because they're coming to tour up in California and all that stuff. So I'm trying, what's his name? You know his name, bro, if you can. So I took this social media class, like marketing class. I'm trying to do all these things, and I met someone through music. His name is KP, Kenny Perry. And he brought me into this thing called Repair Squad. Long story short, Repair Squad was, you pay a fee for your phone. Doesn't matter what kind of phone that you have, but like a monthly subscription of $20. And if your phone goes down, we can have it sent to any type of place and it gets repaired for free, right? So Repair Squad. And I'm like, okay, maybe this would be dope. Something for me to do. And then that was like, wasn't happening. So he said, he basically said, I want to show you what else I do. He did the hustle presentation with me. And basically I was like, wow, I've never learned about this, and this, and I never knew you can make this type of income. So I got started because there was a lot of stuff I didn't know financially, and the concepts was easy, but I knew a lot of people didn't know it. And top of that, you get paid for helping people, and you get paid well. That's how I got started. I'm like, okay, cool. We'll see how this goes. And then, so I got brought into the industry from them. They were in Vegas, and because I lived in Cali, the closest person that they trusted was in Pasadena, California. That's Karoi Kohatsu and Diana Joe. And Karoi Kohatsu is actually from Waimanalo, from Oahu.
Oh, wow.
So it made sense that they put one Hawaiian with another Hawaiian. And, I started studying for my test while I was in Hawaii. I took my test when I came back because I had to play New Year's Eve at a party function in Hawaii back in 2018. And then 2019 was kind of like my start in PHP, in this business. Went to my first big event in February, and I was like, okay. I think I got promoted right after that to associate. Then I was like, okay, cool. Then now the game is about, of course, learning about the financial industry and everything we need to learn, getting trained, and then really just kind of figuring out yourself. All right, so it's yeah, I don't know how to say it, but it's a work in progress for myself right now. Even as a broker, there's stuff that I have limiting beliefs in, but I know this much. I always tell people is like, hey, as long as I think I said it before on your you asked me a question,
Yeah,
right?
the street interviews.
Yeah. As long as you don't quit, you'll be good.
Yeah.
You don't ever win. You don't ever.
Winners never quit, and quitters never win.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. That's what it is. And then you never. Oh, what was the line? I've never met a winning quitter.
There it is. Yeah, I've never met a winning quitter.
Yeah,
you
take that with a grain of salt. I mean, there's some people that might say, well, some people might leave a job and go get a better job.
That's not quitting. That's promoting. That's elevating.
See, that's why.
And if you like if you go from one sport to another, you're not quitting. You're taking on a less load so you can focus on this to go win at this.
Gotcha.
Unless if you just give up and you don't do anything, then yeah, you quit. But okay, so you step in the financial service industry because of what got you was the education
and the compensation. Education and compensation.
So just kind of unpack that for me. Why is the education valuable, and why can you make so much money with it? Because I mean, you're on tour, your lady's working and doing well, so it sounds like y'all have income, but what's the difference?
I mean, look, I'll say this, bro. She was making like $250,000 doing what she was doing, right? But the problem was, just like in any job, you're working for somebody else. Yeah, that's good money. You work for somebody else. Your hours, it was kind of like she might be working long hours. I forgot to mention this. On top of that, though, she had there's like some health issues that she has, right? So I forget what it's called. But long story short, she would be in and out of work because of that. Right, and it's caused by stress. Like her, at the end of the day, if she ever gets to a certain point with her health, like stress levels go up, her whole body turns red. She feels like she's burning. It's like a rare type of psoriasis.
Autoimmune?
Yeah,
Okay.
Autoimmune, rare psoriasis. But it gets pretty bad, right? And she's just in pain, like crappy. So like they try to shoot her with all these different steroids. Blah 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 blah. Anyways. She's better. She still gets that. So I gotta work on not stressing her out as much, right? Like let's just say that. But that was kind of the thing that happened with that. So like she's making good money, but still they were kind of like, well, she's always taking off this and that, right? So, anyways, that was that whole Netflix thing. But I wanted, look, dude. I met somebody the other day. Actually, I met him a couple months ago, but I had dinner with him the other day. I met his family for the first time, and I was asking about this one person he was talking about, and he reminded me that he's at home. So this one guy, has a wife and they have an amazing house. She makes a lot of money. He stays home and all he has to do is just chill. You know, my friend says he has the best life, but all he has to do is chill. He can do whatever he wants, but, you know, he just kind of like make sure the maids do their job, like make sure like the house is good. I say that to say this. I could never do that. There's no freaking way.
Absolutely not.
You know, so like I always wanted to do something else, whether it's music. Like social media marketing classes, bro. I paid like $1,500 for that. Did I use it? No, I didn't. But that was a thing at that time, and then some things just kind of fell into my lap. But I didn't want to depend on somebody giving me income. You know, like as the man of the house, like cool. You know, I gotta show your mama, but I didn't look at it like that. I was like, okay, cool, you're making money right now, but like,
Daddy's gonna come.
Daddy's like,
coming.
I'm not gonna depend on you.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a thing. I'm like, damn, this is dope. So when it came down to the compensation side of the type of income that you can make in the financial industry, look, the place that creates the most millionaires is in the financial industry. It isn't real estate. It isn't pharmaceuticals. It isn't any of those. Is the financial industry. So, you know, at the end of the day, if you're going to invest your time into something that's going to the thing that's most likely to make you a millionaire, if you're going to invest your time into something that is going to most likely make you a millionaire, the number one way to do it is this way.
Yeah.
You can go real estate if you want, which is dope. You know, like eventually I want to get to real estate, not be a real estate agent, but I want to buy some real estate.
Investor.
But you know, at the end of the day, why not invest your time into something that's more likely to get you to be a millionaire? So that was a route that I took. As far as the education side, bro, that's self-explanatory when you hear about the stuff that we know about. Do you know?
Well, what's like a tip that you could give? Like, what's something that, you know, changed you and your family's life that if you had known like years ago that would have, you know, changed everything financially for you?
Your relationship with money.
Okay.
And so like for my dad, well, I'll say this. So when my mom passed away in 1989, I was 3 years old. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, how things worked was because she passed away, there was like a social security type of money that comes in every single month that went amongst my brothers, right? So there's 5 of us all together, but 4 came from my mom. Mm-hmm. You know, my dad had my brother Aaron with my auntie Denise. I call her auntie, but she's not like my mom's sister.
Yeah, okay.
So I just gotta make sure I say that. But long story short is that he made a lot of money working 16 hours a day, bro. And like, but the thing about that is that when I graduate, like the money I was supposed to get from my mom was supposed to be saved up, and none of that was there. Like my dad spent it all. You know, when we would go to the Big Island, my dad would fork out everything. People kind of looked at him as like the sugar daddy because he made so much money working at the prison. He was well respected as a sergeant and then captain or lieutenant at the prison. So that's the type of how I saw money. And you know, it's not like I would just say like, shoot, you got to be educated with how you treat your money.
Yeah.
You know, and really what stood out is, you know, the whole indexing strategy and the basics of what we know that people should know, things that we don't learn in school. I'm not even talking about becoming your own bank. That's a whole nother story. But being able to grow your money somewhere that you can never lose and you can access it and grow it tax-free, that blows away everything that, you know, I'm not saying not to be diverse. Always good to have a diverse portfolio. Have a 401k if they match you. Have all these other things if it makes sense. But just know that there's risk in there. Just know that if you decide to, you know, if you decided to retire with your 401k last year, you would have lost 23% of your money. Like, you got to know the risk in that. And I'm not saying index, like what we do is like the best, not the best, but the only tool there is. There's other tools out there, but we don't learn about this one at all. Not even financial advisors know about it. You know,
that?
I have no idea, to be honest. I mean, maybe I've seen some guys that say, I forgot his name, but he was one of the speakers though, for us at a convention. He used to be a financial advisor, but then he felt a certain way when in the because you can lose money, you can lose your client's money.
Is it Ed Slott or Joe Jordan? Joe Jordan?
Was it? No,
It has to be one of them.
but it was maybe it was one of them.
It has to be one of them.
I'm thinking about the comedian guy. He used to be a comedian.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Anyways, but you might be right. Anyways, it's one of those guys, and he said that I feel so bad. Like, why would I want to still be a financial advisor when they have the risk of losing money here, and we just never know. I always tell people, you never know when you're gonna make money. You never know you're gonna lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a life insurance agent. Just saying that, right? I'm not even giving financial advice. I'm just saying that from what I know, you can make money, you can lose money. You got to pay taxes. You get penalized on 401ks, IRS, like, and you never know when you're gonna make it. You never know when you're gonna lose it. But in this instance, it's a little bit more predictable. You make money, never lose money, access your money tax free, and that's crazy things to know because we're never taught that, and it just seems too good to be true. But why do you think? Because we're in the same industry now. I'm gonna ask you questions, right?
Please.
So why do you think most people don't know about the type of stuff that we know in our industry?
Do you want the long answer or the short answer?
I want whatever answer you want to give.
So, okay, I think